I think LinkedIn is taking a little bit of time to load. So, by the time that happens, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for another one of Protect Academy's LinkedIn Live webinars. We're really glad to have Mr. Love Johar with us today. It's been a hot minute. So, thank you so much, Love, for joining us. And we have another special guest today. His name is Hardik. He has recently joined us at Protect Technologies as a cybersecurity researcher. So, we'll get into all of these cool stories. We'll be discussing the ISO 27001 framework with the point of view of a lead implementer and all of that. So, before we get started, let's wait for, let's say, 30 seconds, right, Love? So that
Yeah,
more people can join in.
yeah.
Sure, sure. So let's wait. Till then, all of you who have already joined, please get some snacks for yourself. If you're driving, please put in your earphones and drive safe. And we'll commence in just another 30 seconds. Thank you.
I already see people coming. Hi, Rafi.
Hi, Rafi. And yes, this is a good example. Anybody who wants to share an opinion, discuss something, or have a burning question, please feel free to leave it down in the comment sections, whether on YouTube or on LinkedIn. And Mr. Love Johar will be getting to all of your questions.
Yeah, I'm good, Rafi. How are you? Yeah, Ghazal, I think we should start.
Right, love. So I invite you to take on the stage. But before that, let's get to Hardik. So, Hardik, hi, and welcome to one of your first webinars. And we're really glad to have you. So, Hardik wanted to get started with Mr. Love Johar's lead implemented training. And I think he followed Mr. Love Johar for the same. And now he's working with us with Protect Technologies. So, Hardik, would you like to share a little bit of your experience?
Yeah, sure, sure. Ghazal, before starting, am I completely audible?
Yes, you're good to go.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, yeah, good evening, guys, and thank you, Ghazal and Love, for inviting me in this webinar. So, guys, it's been a month that I joined this company, and Love sir and Naha sir inspired me to, join this company as a cybersecurity researcher. And also, Ghazal is a very terrific person. Like, she is my manager too, and she also helped in the onboarding process as well. So basically, this company, the reason that I joined this company is that I want to get exposure in the cybersecurity process. I want to be live in the cybersecurity project. So I think that the previous experience is aligning with this roles and responsibilities which I am doing in this company. So yeah, it's been a very cool period that I joined this, and my day-to-day activities involve around technical research, helping with the courses, uh, designing the materials for webinar and panel discussions. So yeah, it's been a very good journey so far. And for you guys, please engage with us in more webinars and panel discussions regarding many cybersecurity topics, regarding ISO 27001 courses and everything. So it will give you a exposure and give you knowledge in the field of this. And if you want to switch your career in the cybersecurity, if you want to gain knowledge regarding what is happening in this market, why the companies have to align with the cybersecurity policies and procedures. So please engage with us more, and do follow Love Johar, Ghazal, and Shubhajit Naha for more such content and for more such cybersecurity career guidance. So yeah, that's from my side, and please, I'm over to Love.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hardik. We are glad to have you on board, and thank you so much for those words. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you, Hardik. That was really sweet.
Yeah,
thank
So
you so
I think, Love, the stage is
yeah,
yours.
right,
And without
right,
further ado, we can dive into ISO 27001 framework.
right. So welcome on board, everybody, to the session. So A lot of stuff we have today. Why is ISO 27001 important for cybersecurity analysts? Why is it important for penetration testers? Why is it important for security architects? Why is it important for the CISOs? How does it plays a vital role for incident response teams, for cloud security teams, for cyber threat intelligence analysts, for application security analysts, so for GRC analysts also. So we have actually tried to lay down all the profiles out there which are from the cyber security domain, and try to understand how ISO 27001 plays a vital role in making sure that you get ahead in your journey in your cybersecurity. Why is ISO 27001 so important? Not only in terms of GRC, not only in terms of GRC, but for overall cybersecurity as a domain, right? So try to understand each and every part of this particular presentation. It is important for your career, because definitely if you are working as a threat analyst, as a penetration tester, as a CISO, this video will actually help you a lot in getting your career ahead. Okay, so this is the starting slide. Let's see what we have here. So it's basically globally recognized certification, ISO 27001. All of us know that. Okay, it's basically everywhere across the globe. You can implement it in any size, any type of company. And we are providing a certification for you as well, for LI as well as for lead auditor as well. Okay, so anybody who is interested can definitely get in touch. The difference between the certifications that we are providing is very simple. Okay, everything over here is practical. Okay, and when I say it, okay, I 100% mean practical. Okay, there is no theory, 0% theory, 0% of theory. Okay, and everything is hands on. Okay, so make sure that if you really want to work hands on, if you have that nudge to implement ISO 27001 in an organization, I think you should definitely join these courses that we have. Okay, so having said that, the certification is vital for professionals tasked with safeguarding information assets. So everybody, I think, working in cybersecurity definitely understands the information assets, managing risk, and ensuring regulatory compliance. So definitely, you see that it is vital. It is needed. How it is needed, that we will see in the upcoming slides. So, what is the purpose of lead implementer? First of all, basically, lead implementer course helps us design and implement an ISMS in any organization. Okay, if you really want to implement information security from scratch in any organization, you need to understand ISO 27001. Without that, there is no other option that you have where you can get certified. Definitely you have other options where you can implement the framework. For example, you have NIST also, but in that case there is no certification as such that you can get. But ISO 27001 you can get certified against also as an organization, so that you can showcase in the market that you are completely compliant with information security and take your company to the next level, right? So risk management framework also, it helps you to implement in the organization. Fostering security culture, this is very important. Okay, whenever I implement ISO in any organization, I have implemented in more than 18 organizations so far. So whenever I implement across India and outside India as well, I have implemented. So whenever I implement, I always say that you need to foster a security culture. It should not be a case where you're only creating policies and procedures, and at the end of the ISO 27001 audit, nobody is watching them. It should not be like that. It should be a dynamic culture. It should be a dynamic security culture where people are looking at those risk registers every day in the morning, where people are looking at those VAPT reports, where people are looking at the internal audit findings, and they are continually working towards that. That is the main aim. That is the main aim why we need to have this culture. Because otherwise, if you do not adapt this as an organization, trust me, even after you get the certification, it won't help you as an organization, right? So definitely try to understand, whoever is ISO 27001 implementer and you are working in the organization, try to collaborate with other people in your domain and try to make it a culture, make it a habit that every day you need to work out on the risk, you need to work out on the findings, you need to work out on the threat analysis. What is the new threat out there which can harm the company in a proactive manner? You need to do the threat analysis, right? So this all will help you as an organization. Only getting the ISO 27001 certification I don't think is of any help, right? So you need to think from that perspective. So culture is very very important here. This is the benefits for cybersecurity analyst. Okay, whenever you do, definitely risk management expertise you get, control implementation knowledge you get. There are 93 controls you get to know, you get to understand about policy alignment. You can align different policies as per your organization. Definitely enhance incident response. Somebody asked me how can security awareness training basically help to increase the incident response. So definitely security awareness training in your organization will help increase the incident response, because people, if they do not know what is a phishing, what is what is a social engineering, then how would they report? So until and unless your organization would understand what is a phishing attack, only then they'll be able to report, right? So after security awareness trainings, if your incidents are rising, don't think it's a false alarm. It's a good alarm, because your people, your organization is going on the right direction. Okay. So these are some KPIs that you need to measure. Okay. If your incidents are rising, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Okay. Because people are recognizing incidents. People are able to report that. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Okay. So this is from a cybersecurity analyst perspective, okay, who has done ISO 27001. So after understanding the ISO 27001, you can easily see that the cyber security analyst, when he noticed unusual login patterns, okay, so from some privileged accounts, since he was aware about the identity management control and RBAC systems, so he basically aligned the access controls measures and reduce the risk associated with unauthorized access. Okay. So this is the beauty of the standard. If you know the controls, if you have understanding, you can simply in your day-to-day job as well, you can simply implement the standard in your job. So that is the beauty. Okay. So if you are a cybersecurity analyst and thinking about doing ISO 27001, I think definitely go for it. It will enhance your profile as a complete. Enhancing penetration testing with ISO 27001. So we have penetration testers now. Okay. As a pen test, you need to know about the compliance. Okay. You need to know what all compliance exists in the industry, what all compliance are there as a organization before you perform the pen test is very important. Okay. So that's where ISO 27001 will help you. Okay. And especially in terms of non-technical security controls as well, you will get a holistic understanding. If you perform ISO 27001 understanding, it will give you not only technical but beyond technical understanding of the controls as well, because ISO 27001 covers 360 degrees complete controls for the entire organization, technical, non-technical. Okay. So because it takes care of information, and information can be tangible and non-tangible, so that's why it gives you a holistic perspective, right? So it will basically increase your reporting effectiveness as well. Okay. Because you'll be able to get a different angle altogether as a penetration tester to look at the things. So now if you're a penetration tester, if you're aspiring to get the ISO 27001, I think definitely go for it. It will definitely enhance your understanding. So this is a real world application of the same. Okay. A penetration tester discovers that vulnerabilities in a client IT system stem from phishing attacks. Okay. So phishing attacks means the understanding is not there. User awareness training is missing. So he clearly identifies that there is a gap here. Okay. So he identifies the controls which are recommended, and he recommends the launching of the phishing simulation campaigns, and accordingly the organization sees a significant reduction. Okay. So this is how it will help you, okay, as an organization. Okay. So now coming to the security architect. If you are a security architect, basically your day-to-day job is architecting the security frameworks. So basically you will get a better understanding around the compliance into the system design phase while doing that, and you'll definitely be able to have a risk centric approach when you're planning towards the security architecture, and you'll have a comprehensive control integration as well, because you'll be able to balance all the different types of control, like physical, technical, procedural, organizational, and all that, right? So definitely it will be help you if you are a security architect as well. It's a good add-on. Okay. A real world application for security architect is tasked with designing a secure IT infrastructure for a financial institution. They begin by conducting a risk assessment, very important exercise, and identify risks such as unprotected sensitive data during transmission, leveraging ISO 27001. They implement data masking, okay, implementation of data masking, because it's a control and they were already aware about it, so it completely helped them in designing the architecture as well, okay. So architecture not only ensures data security but also complies with 27001 standard, providing a strong foundation for regulatory audits and future expansion. So as you can see, it is actually enhancing the profile. So whatever we are touching so far, ISO 27001 is such a good standard. You just add it and it will enhance the profile. It has overall overall accountability of the person. It basically helps you understand different things altogether, which you are right now maybe not looking at from the right perspective, I would say. Okay. Then empowering CISOs, okay, definitely, because CISOs are a critical part of the organization, okay. It basically gives you a strategic framework understanding, improved governance, stakeholder confidence as well, because you get management understanding how to get buy-in from the management in terms of different management review meetings that ISO 27001 recommends, and basically establishing clear roles and responsibilities also, which is an integral part of ISMS. So definitely, if you are a CISO as well, it will definitely be an add-on. So now let us see with a real example how a CISO got helped with the ISO 27001. So a healthcare organization faces a ransomware attack encrypting the patient data. So CISO activates the incident response plan mapped to information security event logging and monitoring 8.16 control, and response to information security incidents control number 5.30. Root cause analysis also identified that because of the outdated systems it happened. So basically, organization wide update plan was launched and stricter patch management policies were included because of this control 8.8. Okay. So CISO got to know about this because he actually had an understanding about ISO 27001 controls, and he had time to respond accordingly and reduce the recovery time and regulatory penalties also because of the different responses that he gave. Okay. And the ISMS also got updated, prepares the organization for future threats as well. So the beauty of the controls is that when you are working at the right direction, you know which control you need to apply, you know when to apply, and you know how to apply. All the three things, if you really have a good understanding about the ISO 27001, right? So now coming to the incident response specialist, if you are an incident response specialist, you basically have a structured incident handling process. You will try to understand what are the different ways to manage security incidents, including detection, reporting, response, recovery, and basically you'll be able to create documents. You'll be able to learn importance of maintaining detailed record of incidents and different artifacts which are related to the incidents, because they are very critical to the audits, okay, for post incident reviews as well, and for legal reportings as well, okay. So you'll understand the importance of why we do so much documentation, okay, in certain areas of ISO. People say that ISO 27001 is all about documentation. I would disagree. I would say that you need that documentation, because otherwise, how would you basically regenerate an incident if you do not have the logs? How would you regenerate an incident if you do not have the proper reporting channels? How would you reproduce an incident if you do not have the proper information? So somehow, in some way or the other, you need that information, right? So documents are important. Don't think that it's only a documentation purpose exercise. It's vital for the organization. That's why. And you have continuous improvement as well, okay. Real world application for uh, sensitive data leak basically caused by accidental sharing. So incident response specialists, using their ISO 27001 knowledge, follows procedures under incident management control 5.30, implemented data leak prevention procedures, and updated employee awareness programs aligned with awareness trainings as well, okay. So organization mitigates further risk of accidental disclosures and enhances its maturity in incident handling by embedding ISO 27001 controls. So you see how it is helping in the real world application. Okay. Coming to the cloud security engineering, how it is helping the cloud security engineers. Before that, Ghazal, any questions so far?
Hi, love. No, we're good so far. I think Hardik had a question, so I
Yeah,
can just put him on the stage.
go ahead, Hardik.
Yeah. Yeah, love. I just want to ask that as you mentioned the slide of a penetration tester, so how critical is this role in corporate landscape? Like, why this role is very important in companies, penetration tester?
Penetration tester role is very important because let's say you had an application, right? You created an application, and there was no penetration testing done. There was no VAPT done at all, and you try to launch that application in production, and now that application is out in public. So if there is
Yeah.
no VAPT done, definitely easily penetratable from the outside, right? Anybody can hack in,
Yes.
anybody can penetrate, anybody can, enter into your production network through that application. So VAPT is a must. I would say every company should have VAPT procedures for their own applications that they are developing, as well as for the other third-party applications also that they are using. VAPT should be conducted at a periodic intervals. I should say, and definitely it's a good exercise.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, love.
Yeah, sure.
So, anybody else who's having any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section, and Love will be getting to all of them.
Yeah,
Thank you, Love. Please carry
thank
on.
you. Thank you. So now coming to cloud security engineering, definitely if you're a cloud engineering expert, your focus should be on the cloud domain. You're like AWS as you're configuring the all the cloud items. You're basically creating day-to-day cloud configurations, and there you might not be aware about cloud compliance in different countries. Okay, so you might not be aware about different controls related to cloud platforms. So here ISO 27001 will help you, okay, in order to have complete understanding about what are the different compliances across different countries, across different control mapping for cloud as well. And it will basically give you a global credibility, okay, and it will basically help you to understand your cloud environment in a better way. And you again would know what are the different controls that you need to apply from a security perspective into your day-to-day job for the cloud engineer. So similarly, let's see, a cloud security engineer discovers that sensitive customer data stored in a cloud service lacks proper encryption. So using ISO 27001 guideline, they apply cloud security control and configure end-to-end encryption under data encryption control. They also enforce access control rules, Control 5.15, to ensure data is accessible only to authorized personnel. Okay, the organization's cloud environment becomes both secure and compliant. Okay, ensuring sensitive data protection while meeting customer and regulatory expectations. So because of the control awareness, because of the understanding about the control, here again you save the day. Okay, so that's why as a cloud security engineer also, if you're looking to enhance your career, definitely 27001 is a very good add-on. Okay, now coming to cyber threat intelligence analyst, okay, where we have different threat models, where different threat analysis are there, or the day-to-day journey. We need to identify what are the different types of potential threats that can harm the organization. If you are that person, definitely you'll be able to prioritize the efforts based upon the likelihood and impact of the incidents. It will help you understand that. Okay, it will basically help you to analyze your findings in a better way, and you can have a better systematic threat management. Okay, and basically you'll be able to provide insights for risk management and continual improvement of the ISMS, because you are an integral part. Threat intelligence is an integral part of the risk analysis and risk assessment exercise. So definitely you'll be able to contribute more towards the risk management of the overall organization, and it will definitely be a good add-on. Okay, so real world application for threat intelligence, basically a threat intelligence analyst observes an increase in ransomware targeting. Okay, so leveraging ISO 7001, they use ISMS risk management framework to assess the likelihood and impact. So recommend implementing endpoint detection and response EDR solution aligned with endpoint protection and updating the business continuity plan. Okay, so here now the organization is prepared, as you can see, because they saw a rise in the ransomware attempts. Now the organization is ready. In case something happens, they are prepared to detect, respond, and recover from ransomware attacks. So this is the beauty. Okay, you can never be 100% protected with any solution, with anything, but this is a day to day progress that you can make if you are out there and you're trying to achieve a perfect balance of information security in your organization. This is how you can achieve. Okay, so basically this is how it will be helpful for the threat intelligence analyst, right? So then we have application security engineer. Okay, and the application security engineer basically is responsible for making sure that the application is secure. Whenever you are developing the application, you follow the SDLC life cycle. Okay, and here, if you are application security engineer, you will get to know about different controls which are there in order to help you understand following the best practices for implementing the software, and going for out of the shelf software as well, costs as well, and different controls are there for, especially for software development, I should say. Okay, so definitely a good add-on for anybody who is out there for application security. And here we can see that application security engineer identifies a vulnerability where API communications could expose sensitive data. Okay, so here you actually enforce secure coding and secure development environment. Okay, and basically implemented API authentication methods so that anything bad should not happen. Okay, you are basically ready with all the robust security measures in your application by following these frameworks, right? So this is the most important aspect for GRC specialist. Okay, anybody who is in the GRC domain, definitely ISO 27000 is a must. And this is why a lot of people are enrolling us for the ISO 27001 courses. And this is where it helps you the most, because if you aspire to become a GRC specialist, if you aspire to become a GRC domain expert in the next 5 years or 10 years, ISO 27001 gives you a better foundation. It gives you a starting point, okay, from where you can start the implementation for any GRC framework in any organization. So definitely, if you are looking out there to become a GRC, domain expert in the next 5 years or 10 years, ISO 27001 is your go-to gateway for that. Okay, so definitely get in touch with us, and we can help you with that. Okay, so a foundation for managing governance, risk, and compliance. Okay, I 100% agree with this statement. Okay, there could not be a better foundation for managing governance, risk, and compliance rather than ISO 27001. Okay, you understand why you need to follow governance in an organization. You understand the role of information security. You understand the role of top management. You understand the role of policies. Why top management puts emphasis on the policies, why governance is important from a strategic perspective, why you need to have risk assessment, and why risk assessment should be a periodic exercise, why compliance is very important for any organization. Without compliance, you will actually get into penalties. So all these are very important and core parts of the ISO 27001, which we discuss in the classes. And definitely you understand practically how these are important things. What happens if there is non compliance with the policy? What happens if the risk assessment is not carried out on a periodic interval? You leave it for 6 months, then what are the issues? So all these are practical things which we discuss in the classroom environments. Okay, then enhancing the auditing skills as well. Okay, you are basically conducting the internal audits. ISMS audits are there. You identify the gaps and you recommend improvements as well. Again, internal audit should not be a once a year exercise. Okay, you need to perform this periodically, so that you get to know what are the gaps. You should not be only doing this exercise prior to the getting the certification. I see a lot of the companies only perform internal audit prior to the certification. It should not happen like that. This is for you. This is for your organization. Internal audit is for you to check your temperature of the organization. It's not for some outsider. Okay, so try to understand that. Okay, so internal audit is for you. So try to use internal audit for your organization. Okay, and do it periodically. Do not only do it before getting the certification. It's not the right approach. Okay, so make internal audit as a dynamic document, and make sure that you keep on updating the findings. Okay, and do it as a part of the recursive process. You can do it quarterly, you can do it biannually, but do it periodically. Don't do it once a year and just forget that. Okay, that's not a good practice. Okay. And thirdly, regulatory alignment. Okay, because you need to be aligned with all the different regulatory laws and regulations out there as per the government standards. So ISO 27001 will give you a very good head start in order to implement all the relevant controls which are there, which are applicable to the organization. You can implement them, and you can become regulatory compliant as well. Okay, any questions so far?
Hi, love. Yes, we have some questions. Let me just start with the first one. So, Mahipal from LinkedIn is asking, Hi, love. What are the popular tools for threat intelligence?
There are different frameworks that you can follow for threat intelligence. Okay, there is a framework called Stride, there is a framework called Pasta. You can follow those frameworks. You can do threat analysis on your own. Okay, you can do that. And if you want, there are different subscriptions also for threat intelligence, RSS feeds also, which are available. Okay, you can google them and easily find them. But as an organization, I think you should follow a framework like Stride or Pasta. These are the good frameworks which you can start with. Stride is a very good framework, my pal. You should follow Stride if you actually want to have a good understanding about threat management and threat intelligence. STRIDE. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ghazal.
Right. Thank you so much, love. I think Rafi has a statement more than a question. He's saying for SDLC, it's also required to define a proper policy.
Definitely. Policy, I would say, is important whenever you are introducing anything new in the organization and you do not have a policy. Trust me, it will go wrong. It's as simple as that. Okay, so you need to have a policy whenever you are introducing any new change in the organization. You are introducing anything new as a process in the organization. You are introducing any new thing in the organization. Whenever you are introducing, you need to have a policy. Otherwise, don't think that people will follow whatever you are introducing. It will be just putting it aside in a silo. So that is the beauty of a policy. And Rafi, definitely for SDLC, because SDLC is a very important process for any organization, you need to have a policy in place. And I would say the same for any control as well. If you are trying to implement any new control, if you are trying to implement in your organization, the first thing that you should do is to implement a policy. Write it down. It's very important. Yeah.
Right, right. Thanks, love. The next question is by Sanjay from LinkedIn. He's asking, is there a GRC certification? How do you get certified in GRC?
Very good question, Sanjay. So GRC, there is no certification as such because GRC is, a compilation of three things. If you see, governance, risk, and compliance. These are three different tangents and three different verticals altogether. So what we do is, this is how we have actually tried to nail it down. And this is how we actually train our students. Is that basically governance and risk we cover in the ISO 27001 lead implementer course, because there ISO 27001 talks about governance policies, senior management role of the top management, information security policies, change management policies. Everything is there. So from a governance and risk side, risk management is also there. You have clause number 6 and clause number 8 talking about complete risk assessment, risk treatment. So governance and risk we treat from the ISO 27001 LI perspective. And the compliance side, what we have done is ISO 27002 we have introduced. And in the ISO 27002 we are covering all the compliances out there. You have SOC 1, SOC 2, GDPR, SOX, PCI DSS, any compliance you name it, ITGC, ITAC. We are covering all these compliances in the ISO 27001 lead auditor course. Okay, so in lead implementer we are covering governance and risk aspect of things, and in the lead auditor course we are covering lead auditor as well as the compliance part of the GRC as well. Okay, so that you are completely prepared for the interviews, because nowadays we have seen that whenever you get a job description, these things are just mentioned like they are a add-on that they need, the company needs. Okay, for example, any role if you see for GRC, it will clearly say that SOC 1, SOC 2, SOC 3, SOX, ITGC, ITAC. they have written these words. So as a incumbent, as a participant, as a candidate, you should feel confident enough when you are participating in the interview that you know about these compliances. That's why in the lead auditor course we are covering all these compliances. Of course, not in a lot of depth, but definitely to make you at least ready for the interview. You will be able to answer the interviews. That is our main objective. Okay.
Right, right. Great. Okay, so next question is by Nana Kumar from LinkedIn. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. So, hi, love. I have a few questions under data masking. Could you please provide some examples on that?
Data masking is very important. Okay, we need to do that whenever we are dealing with any important sensitive data. For example, you must have seen on the balance statements, the balance sheets that you get from your banks. They never have your account number complete nowadays. They have xxxx and only last four digits or last two digits. So this is how data masking is done. Okay, it's very important. Whenever you are sharing any sensitive data, you do not need to share it completely. Be it your credit card information, be it your debit card information, be it your social security number or Aadhaar card number. The data masking is very important. These are the very good examples, day-to-day examples I am giving you, Kanakumar.
Right. Uh, Perfect, perfect. So I'm moving on to the next question by Sanjay again from LinkedIn. He's saying, like ISO 9001 consultants and external auditors, how does this work in case of ISO 27001 outside an organization?
So similarly, we have 9001, Sanjay. Very good question, first of all. Similarly, like we have 9001, similarly to that, we have same type of. In fact, I would say more demand for ISO 27001 consultants. I have seen people on the weekend. They are consulting to different companies. They are working as lead implementers. They are working as lead auditors in their free time as a consultant. Yes, the market is out there. Yes, you are completely right, and the demand is more, and especially in 2025. I would like to make a statement here. Everybody is watching. This is the golden statement for you, whoever is there in this webinar right now, and it will help you again, because this is one opportunity which is there in 2025, is that 2025 is the year of ISO 27001. Now, why I say 2025 is the year of ISO 27001 is that on October 30, 2025, every organization who is still on the 2013 version need to shift to 2022 version. Okay, so there's a big demand out there in the industry right now. Trust me, I'm feeling the demand because I get the calls every day. And in the quarter two and quarter three, everybody who is watching, ISO 27001 will get, like anything, because industries are there who are waiting for Q2, Q3 to come, and then they'll realize that now the time is coming. So 2025, if you are doing ISO 27001 LI and LA, trust me, it's gold. Okay, I'm telling you. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Now, our next question is by Pramod from LinkedIn. He's saying, as a beginner but with IT experience of more than 10 years, he is planning to move to the cybersecurity field. So, how is this course that we have, ISO 27001 lead implementer, going to help him?
So first of all, the domain governance, risk and compliance promote. If you want to pursue that domain, if you want to pursue a career towards governance, risk and compliance, as I mentioned, there is only one pathway which I would suggest, highly recommend to anybody who wants to switch towards the GRC domain, is ISO 27001. It gives you a complete understanding. It gives you a complete understanding about what are the different roles out there, what are the different responsibilities out there. So definitely, if you do not have any IT security experience, only IT experience, it doesn't matter at all, because in the classroom environment you will be doing everything hands on. You will be working like a professional. You will be creating policies, you will be performing risk assessment like somebody who is already there in the organization is doing. Trust me, Pramod, there is no difference between what you are doing in the classroom and what somebody sitting in big companies are doing. Okay, so that environment we will provide you. That is our task, right? And after performing all those exercises, you will yourself feel that confidence, so that you can go out there and you can give interviews, because you'll be able to understand why we are doing something from the scratch, which is very important. Okay, that's why I always say go for practical. Okay, always go for practical, don't go for theory, because if you go for theory, you won't be able to answer interview questions. If the interview will ask you to create a policy, you will be shut at that moment, you will not be able to create any policy. So that's why, I think, go for a practical classroom environment where you're able to learn how to actually do things from the scratch. And moreover, why is something important. Okay, it's not about creating a policy, it's about why I am creating a policy. What will happen if I don't create the policy? What will happen if somebody is not following the policy? What will happen if the policy is not created properly? So these questions are something which will help you to excel in your cybersecurity field, Pramod. Okay, so think from that perspective. And I always say ask questions. So Pramod, this is a very good question that you have asked. And definitely ask questions. Whoever, whatever classroom, whoever's training you are getting, I don't care, but always ask questions, because these questions will actually help you get ahead. Nothing else, trust me. Yeah.
Right, beautifully explained, love. And also, you have very wonderfully designed this course in such a manner that it is beginner friendly as well. So, no matter which domain they're coming from, everybody understands at the same level. And you also make sure personally that anybody who's coming from, say, even non IT, so promote this from IT, but anybody coming from non IT as well feels comfortable and feels at
Yes.
par, right?
Yes. Having said that, we had audience from some people who were actually from the last year. They were in the stock exchange. They were working on stocks, and now they are placed in the governance and risk domains in MNCs right now. Okay, so they did the course with me. They are placed right now. Similarly, I had people who were from the marketing teams. They were doing digital marketing and all. Again, these people are also placed. So people from different backgrounds. You're right, absolutely right, Ghazal. The course is designed in such a way that you can actually, if you are willing to put in the effort, if you are willing to put in the effort, then definitely you'll be able to cover up the GRC domain.
Right. Even our marketing teams have started speaking the same lingo. They can
Yeah,
discuss the framework because they've been
yeah,
editing videos and watching your content.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
Pramod, please feel free to continue on or to join in with Mr. Lovejoy's training. You will definitely benefit from this.
yeah.
Right. So, moving on, Sanjay has a third question from LinkedIn again. Okay. Are there IEEE standard that complement ISO 27001 like the IEEE ISO IEC 12207 on software development SDLC?
I'm not too sure about this particular case, but again, Sanjay, I'll get back to you, because this is a very precise requirement that you have put in. To be honest, I haven't researched like this, but definitely we'll get back to you on this question.
Right, right, Sanjay. Great. So Rafi has a question from YouTube. For internal audit, what is the ISO recommendation in terms of conducting internal audits?
Very good question, Rafi. So, Rafi, first of all, as I said, don't think that what ISO is asking you to do, don't think that it's only a part of the standard. You understand why internal audit is helpful for your organization. That should be your approach. Okay, because let's say I am performing internal audit. Okay, as per ISO, I should conduct it in clause number 9. Okay, so what companies do is basically before going to the external stage 1 audit and stage 2 audit, they conduct a internal audit, so that they try to understand where they stand as a company, and what are the gaps that they can completely cover before going for the external audit. That's how companies do it, Rafi. So before going for any external audits, they go for the internal audit first. And sometimes they do it by themselves, and sometimes they hire us and we do it for themselves, from the Protect Technologies as well. We get those assignments as well. So these are the things about the internal audit, when it is performed in the organization. But I would try to make a statement here. Don't do it only for the part of doing it. You do it as a practical regular exercise. Why don't you do it after every 6 months? Why don't you do it after every 3 months? So that at least you know what is changing, what are the gaps which are emerging. Because see, can you say that the business will remain same after 3 months? The answer is no. Can you say that everything will remain same after 3 months? The answer is no. So why we should not conduct internal audit after every 3 months or 6 months? You should do that, because it will help you to make this as a culture. Again, I'm going to the same thing. Okay, you should develop this as a culture in your organization. Don't do it only as a part of why ISO is saying it and why I should do it from a certification perspective. You should do it because it's needed for your organization. You should look it from that perspective. Look it from a business perspective, Rafi. Okay.
Right, great explanation. So we have a few more questions by Yuvraj, Swati, Ankit, and Sanjay again. So I think, Love, do you want to continue on with the slides and then we'll take up these questions?
No, I'm happy with the questions. Questions
Okay,
actually,
great.
yeah, it's okay.
ठीक है, perfect, perfect. All right, so Yuvraj is asking, Hi, Love. I'm currently working in TPRM for the past 2 months, and I'm
Hmm.
thinking of doing ISO 27001 2022 LI,
Okay,
lead implementer, as
okay.
well as lead auditor, which is having the IRCA. So, could you help me to complete from scratch to end?
I think he wants to understand completely from scratch to end how it will help it.
ISO,
Yeah,
right. So I think he's looking to get both certifications, the lead
okay.
implementer and lead auditor, and he's asking if he can join on with the journey that you're
Yeah,
on currently.
yeah. So definitely, Yuvraj, a very good add-on for you if you are from the third-party risk management domain, because we will be covering risk management. And again, don't only think third-party risk management. Think from a complete GRC perspective. That's what I say to all my audience. So some people call me, they say, "Love sir, we are working in the compliance domain." Some people call me, they say, "Love sir, we are working in the governance domain." Some people say that we are working on the audit side. So I always tell them one thing. Okay, Yuvraj, same goes for you as well. Don't think where you are working right now. You look at it from a 360-degree angle. You look at it from a holistic perspective. You try to understand the complete GRC framework. That's why you should join the course. You need to understand why do we need governance, why do we need risk assessment, why do we need compliance, what are the roles of these three pillars in any organization, and how you can implement them in any organization should be your goal. Be it you are working in TPRM, be it you are working as an internal auditor, be it you are working in forensics, be it you are working in a penetration testing. I don't care on that. Your focus should be to understand the governance, risk, and compliance as a whole framework. That's why you should join these courses. And trust me, we have designed these courses in such a way that you will get a very good head start. And only one thing we require from you is the effort, because definitely it is not easy. And trust me, it is not easy, because a lot of exercises is there, a lot of hands on work is there which you haven't done before. So definitely, if you are there to put in the hard work, trust me, you will be able to get a very good understanding about the complete GRC domain. That's how I can describe it.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. So moving on to Swati's question from LinkedIn. Hi, one doubt, please. In ISO 27001 lead auditor and lead implementer, we are referring to the same ISO 27001 standard only. Though LA includes auditing the organization, while LI includes implementing the process. So I think it's more of a she's looking for a clarification. Okay,
Yes,
there is more.
Swati. Okay,
But
yeah.
how does it differ on ground? If you can throw some light on that. Yeah, so she's looking for clarification.
Very good, very good. Swati, first of all, your understanding is right. I think more or less you're getting the right picture. But what I have seen people doing is that they go for LA first. I don't know who has put this in their mind. Maybe it's because of the marketing which is out there. Maybe it's because of the ads out there. One thing I really want to clear right now is never go for LA first. Never ever go for LA first. If you have, because people are coming who have done LA from big institutions to me right now for LI. Okay, after doing LA for 4 years, now people are coming to me for LI because they don't understand how exactly the structure works, how exactly the standard works. So that's why you need to do for LI first, because in LI you'll get understanding about the standard, why you need to implement. It's not about how you implement. Never look at the how anybody can see from YouTube. Also, you should understand why you need to implement, why you need to follow clause 4. If somebody is able to understand clause 4, only 90% of the standard is implemented. Trust me, it is so much critical. Okay, so you need to understand why. Okay, that is why you join these courses. So different clauses are there. Why there is different clauses? Why top management guidance and support is so vital? Why is there a dedicated clause for that? So these are the things that you actually come to know when you do the LI. It's not covered in the LA because LA's focus is entirely different. LA's focus is audit. LA will never tell you about why these things should be implemented, how these things should be implemented, what will happen if you don't do this. That is the thing that it will tell you. What will happen if you don't do this? Because there will be a non-conformity. Very simple. Okay. But before doing that, all that you need to understand why is it so critical. Okay.
Right, right. Absolutely. I hope that answered your question, Swati. So let's go to Ankit's question now. So he's asking, does the course also include exam certification?
That is for you, Ghazal,
Hello.
I think.
Yeah, okay, sure. So, Ankit, hi, Ghazal this side. Yes, the course does include a global certification, in fact, and at the end of your training, you will be faced with a multiple choice question paper wherein you have to score about 60% and above in order to secure your certification. So, to answer your question, yes, it includes an exam and also a global certification. Plus, I think, Love, we can tell them about the dual certification that we have for the LI training, especially for
And
the
for
LI training and
and
for
for the
LA as well.
LA also. Yeah, go ahead and tell them, Ghazal. Yeah.
Right, right. So, guys, whenever you enroll for either one of the ISO 27001 lead implementer or lead auditor courses, you get dual certification with us. So, of course, you get your respective LI or LA certificate, but additionally, we also provide you with a GRC certificate as well. The idea is that since Mr. Lovejoy is using the ISO 27001 framework to kind of take you through the entirety of GRC, so you have well deserved yourself a GRC credential as well. So with this training, you get your dual certificates. We don't market it, but this is like an added bonus at the end of your training that most of the learners get when they finally get their results and their certifications. So if you're looking to get a GRC certificate as well, please feel free to contact us. I'll leave our contact details in the on the screen. We'll flash it on the screen by the end of the training, and please feel free to reach out. Thank you. Uh, Love Sanjay has another question.
Hmm.
So I think now he's talking about the collaboration between ISO 12207 on software development and the IEEE standard that is complementary to ISO 27001. So I think you'll be getting back to him on this
Yeah,
because in the
we'll get
courses
back to
they
you because
follow
these
ISO.
IEEE standards, Sanjay. To be honest, I need to look at them before answering you. I can't answer like that.
Right. And
Yeah.
he had another follow up to this. He's asking, is ISO 27001 a prescriptive or a compliance standard?
Prescriptive, not a compliance standard. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Nobody
Great,
is
great.
asking you to implement. It's not a part of the you have to do this. Yeah.
Right, right. Sounds good. Okay, so Rafi is thanking you for your explanation.
Thank you, Rafi.
And Wealth Mafimi. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. I did not mean to. So, Wealth Mafimi is saying, explain governance with example, risk with example, and compliance with example, please.
Very good. First of all, thank you so much, Wealth, for asking these questions. These questions think let me think that you are going in the right direction. Somebody who is asking this question means that they are concerned with their career. Somebody who is asking this question makes me understand that they are responsible for their career, and you are responsible for your career growth. Very good question, Wealth. So governance, two types of governance. Okay, first of all, let us try to understand that. I can speak for 2 hours on this question, first of all. So very good question. So two types of governance, Wealth. One is the corporate governance, and second is the governance that is from the compliance and regulatory standards that the law of the land wants you to, okay, follow. So these are the two types of governance. Okay, for any organization to follow these two types of governance, what is the one thing that they need to do is to create a policy. Okay, they need to create a policy, they need to create a framework around the governances, whatever different types of governance, be it you want to have a corporate governance or the compliance, whatever you want to implement. Okay, create a policy around that, and then you follow the governance aspect of things. This is how governance is done. Okay. Then you come to risk. Okay, risk is basically risk management, risk assessment, risk evaluation, risk analysis, risk scoring, risk treatment, risk mitigation, whatever all these terms are, basically only refer to one thing: how as an organization you try to assess your organization threats in advance, and how can you do the risk assessment for these threats in advance for all the important assets that you have in the organization, so that you can protect them proactively. This is the gist of the entire risk management exercise. Okay, by performing this risk exercise, you're basically trying to protect all the information assets in your organization. Proactive risk assessment should be the name. If you ask me, it should not be risk assessment, because you're doing it proactively, so that you understand, you make your posture in a better manner in terms of security, and you align yourself better in terms of security as an organization. That is the end goal for having risk management, right? And compliance, I think I've already explained, but again, compliance is, for example, if you are working in a healthcare sector in the US, you need to follow HIPAA. Similarly, if you are working in the credit card industry, you're dealing with the transactional data for credit cards, you need to follow PCI DSS. So these are different, compliance frameworks which are out there, that if you are in that particular industry, you need to follow. Okay, for publicly traded companies in the US, you need to follow Sarbanes-Oxley (SOX). So these are some of the compliance frameworks which are already out there. GDPR is there for European citizen data. If you are dealing with EU citizen data, you need to follow GDPR. Okay, so these are the different compliance frameworks. I hope I'm able to answer you well.
Great, great. So, Wealth, let us know in the comment section if this answers your question. And I think he's also asking for the cost of the training. So, Wealth, let's do this. Let me put in the contact informations on the screen in just a while after the Q&A round, and then you
But
can
one thing,
reach out to me.
yeah, Ghazal, let me tell one thing to everybody who is on the line. The
Yeah,
cost is very reasonable. Okay, cost is very reasonable. You will see the cost lesser than any of the other institutions out there. I can vouch for that, right, Ghazal? I can do that, right?
absolutely,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. So don't think that we are charging you enormous amounts of money, because here the end goal of Protect Academy is to make sure that we make you understand stuff. That is the whole objective. We want to deliver quality. Our objective here is not to get a lot of money from you. That's not the end goal.
Exactly, exactly. So I will be putting in the contact details, and please don't hesitate in reaching out to me, and I'll help you out with all the details. I'll help you set up for your training and everything. And I think Wealth was happy with your explanation, so he's saying thank you.
I think Param has left. We have left
Yes.
Param.
Last question by Param. What is the difference between GRC, ISMS, and lead auditor?
A very good question, Param. Again, Param, if you are asking this question, uh, trust me, I understand that you are thinking about your career, you're thinking about GRC, and trust me, you're going in the right direction. Somebody who is asking such questions, I completely understand from where you are coming, and because I get these questions every day. You don't believe, my phone keeps on ringing every day, and sometimes I have to keep it on silent because I also need some me time. But unfortunately, I'm not getting a lot of me time right nowadays. But yeah, so people ask me these questions every now and then. What you are asking, Param? So, difference between GRC, ISMS, and lead audit is very simple. GRC is a complete domain of cybersecurity which deals with governance, risk, and compliance. These are the three focus areas. If you see, okay, it's governance, risk, and compliance. Only these things you need to look at. Okay, you will not looking at VAPT. You will not be looking at ethical hacking. You will not be looking at architecting the security. You'll not be looking at any other thing. Your only focus will be on governance, risk, and compliance. Okay, this is GRC in nutshell. ISMS is basically nothing but a set of policies and procedures that you create in order to safeguard your assets. That is the sole definition of ISMS from ISO 27001. You can read it in the standard also. This is what the standard says. Okay, ISMS is nothing but a list of policies and procedures that you need to create to safeguard your assets. Okay, this could be ISMS, could be a policy, ISMS could be a procedure. It's basically a complete amalgamation of all the documents that you create in order to safeguard your information assets. That is the ISMS. It's a complete framework, ISMS. Okay, and lead auditor is basically somebody who can audit a standard. Because you have mentioned lead auditor, you haven't specified any particular standard. So lead auditor would be somebody who can audit a standard. Okay, normally lead auditor comes from the certification body, but you can hire them as a consultant also if you want. So lead auditors basically come with their complete team, and they're a bunch of, I think, 5 6 people along with the lead auditor as well, who are subject matter expertise. So they come together for auditing a particular standard. Okay, two types of audits they do: stage 1 audit and stage 2 audit. So this is the lead auditor. Okay, Param.
Great, great. Perfect, perfect. So I think now we are at a stage where you can proceed with your slides. And guys,
I
if you
think,
have any questions, please keep them coming.
yeah, I think slides are almost there, Ghazal. Let me see. I think we already covered it in advance, but let me see.
I think we have about 5 more slides to go. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So real world
Yeah.
application for GRC specialist, basically, I think we've already seen so far. GRC specialist person, basically would know about how to put in a risk treatment plan, how to put in a supplier relationship in place. Okay, whenever the organization is preparing for, any documentation, the GRC person would definitely get to have a better understanding, because he already has understanding of the ISO 27001 standard, right? Next is the digital forensics. Yeah, so digital forensics would have a better understanding of evidence handlings. Okay, because ISO 27001 outlines the requirement of how to secure the evidence and all that. So you'll be in a better procedure. Process alignment as well. Okay, so basically you'll be able to understand all the different processes and policies around the digital forensics, and definitely legal confidence, because you'll be able to understand the compliance out there, the regulatory requirements out there. So definitely you'll get a legal confidence. Okay, so, following a suspected insider attack, a digital forensic investigator uses ISO 27001 to ensure proper evidence collection aligned with digital evidence management control. So, these are the controls that can help you as a digital forensics. Okay, so for anybody out there, you see the different controls out there as per your domains that you can use while implementing the standard. Okay, so cross-role benefits of ISO 27001. Okay, global recognition, definitely one thing which is a very good highlight. Okay, you go anywhere in the world, this is one certification which is absolutely recognized. And adaptability, basically you can adapt with any technology, any size company, it is completely adaptable. Okay, improved collaboration between the teams. Basically, when you try to inculcate security as a culture, like I mentioned, then if you are really doing that, then you will be achieving this part as well, because then definitely teams have to communicate with each other. Without communication you cannot establish the culture. Okay, so that's where you'll get the improved collaboration as well. And definitely a risk based thinking, which is very 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 important for any organization right now. So definitely you will get a risk based thinking. Okay, so I think this part we already discussed in advance.
Right, right. So, guys, if you have any questions, now is the time. Please feel free to put them down.
And one thing I would again mention, I keep on mentioning this, but I think it's my responsibility as a trainer to do that. Any course that you join, guys, two things always keep in mind: you need to ask questions. Okay, if you want to ask questions before joining the course, you can ask Ghazal, you can ask me, we are here to help you. And even during the
Absolutely.
course as well, like I have people in my batches who are, I think, 35 40 people in one batch. We have a lot of discussions, we have a lot of Q&A. It's not like if we have a big batch there will be no Q&A. It's a vice versa. People share their experience, people share their thoughts on things. It's a different learning experience altogether. Okay, so definitely two things you remember: any course you join, okay, first of all you ask questions. Why is this course important for me? How it will enhance my career? What will happen if I do this course? What will I achieve after completing this course? And second thing is that, what is the practical thing I'm getting in this course? What is the hands-on thing I can get? Because right now cybersecurity is of a great demand, and for the next 5 to 10 years, GRC, trust me, will be a great demand. Okay, GRC will be there on the radar for the next 5 to 10 years. But if you want to get the most out of it, you need to have practical understanding of things. You need to understand why we are doing something and how we are doing something. Both of these are important aspects for you. So then think from that perspective and try to get knowledge from that area. Okay, so join any course if you want, but these two things always keep in mind. Ask questions and get practical understanding.
Right, right. And on that same note, so I know Mr. Lovejoy is not going to say this, so I will. Mr. Lovejoy is coming out with another one of his batches with us for ISO 27001 lead implementer training. The same long format training, again, completely hands on, fully practical in nature. Of course, keeping in mind all the freshers who join so that they also feel at par. So the training would be starting in the month of February from the 23rd. So we still have a few slots left as Mr. Lovejoy's batches fill up really, really quickly. So if you're looking to get started on your GRC journey, or if you're looking to get a brush up on all things ISMS implementation, then please feel free to reach out on the number or the email ID below, and we'd be happy to help you get set up, and get started with your training. I think we have another question, love, by Param. Right. So he's asking, how do we find loopholes, defects, deviations who are not following the ISO 27001 framework? Do we have any tools in place to find out?
So deviations from ISO 27001 standard would easily be able to find out by internal audit and external audit. Param. You perform internal audit properly, you will be able to get the deviations. If you perform external audit also, then also you'll be able to get the deviations and loopholes. Both the audits are there. And one thing more, if you are going for internal audit, try to get it from external body like Protect Technologies. Why I'm saying that is because when we are doing it by ourselves as an organization, there is an inherent bias that I have seen. Okay, so that's why if you have internal audit requirement, definitely get in touch with the third party. So that will really help.
Right. A fresh set of eyes makes it easier.
Yeah, because if I have implemented something, it would be very hard for me to find out mistakes in that. Right? It's a self-conscious bias.
Right, right, right. Well said, love.
Right.
I think we have these are okay.
Okay,
We have
I
another
I
question.
want I want Anjanelu's comment to be on the screen first because Anjanelu is one of the participant in the batches. Thank you so much, Anjanelu, for mentioning this. So, guys, see, this is a testimonial in front of you. Okay, this is a live testimonial from Anjanelu. He is one of the students in one of my batches. So, see,
And he has
he's
passed his exam recently.
yeah, he has also cleared his
Really
LI
did.
exam recently and he has got a global certification as well. So see for yourself, guys. This is the testimonial from the client side himself. Everything is practical. Okay, we are not relying on any theory here. We are not giving you slides to study. Everything is hands-on and practical. That is the beauty of these courses. Thank you so much, Anjali, for your comment. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Anjaneya sir. We have another question by Gana Kumar. He's saying, what is stage one audit and what is stage two audit? Could you please confirm if these statements point to TOD and TOE?
Yes, Ganakumar, you are right. In the uh, in the stage two audit, basically we will be checking the test of implementation. ISO 27001 never talks about TOD and TOE. If you want to check the TOE part, test of effectiveness, then there is a different reporting altogether. That is called a SOC 2 report. If you want TOD and TOE, better go for SOC 2. Okay, because ISO 27001 stage 2 audit also will only check the implementation, whether the implementation of a particular control is done properly or not. It will not check the effectiveness for the last 6 months or 1 year like that. So if you want to really focus on the TOE, TOD and TOE part, then go for SOC 2. Then ISO 27001 will not solve your purpose because there is a different reporting structure altogether for that. There is a SOC 2. Okay. So ISO 27000 only focuses on the implementation aspect. Okay. I hope I'm able to get to you. It will not cover any effectiveness part which you are looking at for last 6 months, for last 9 months, for last 12 months. If you are looking at control effectiveness test, then SOC 2 is your okay targeted area. Yeah.
Great, great. And Janam has a question. What job roles can be targeted with GRC and ISO certifications? Which companies, etc.?
Janam, first and foremost, very important question you have asked. And secondly, again, thank you, because this question gives me an understanding of what you are thinking at the moment. And trust me, I get these questions every day, Janam. So that's why your understanding is completely at the right place. Okay. And you're thinking about your career makes me happy, because very few people think about their career from a long progression, okay, format. So definitely you're looking at the right thing, first of all, and a very valid question. So, job roles, first of all, I would say as a consultant, which I already mentioned. If you are already working, you can work as a consultant in your free time. Trust me, a lot of demand is there. Trust me, a lot of companies will now be shifting from 2013 to 2022. And trust me, there's a huge demand out there in the industry for ISO 27001, especially in 2025. So even if you don't get a job as a consultant, you will get a lot of opportunities, that is for sure. And secondly, you'll definitely get a job as well, because GRC is a wide domain. And be you become a governance and risk analyst, be you become a risk analyst, be you become a compliance analyst, ISO 27001 Janam will always play the foundational role for you in that journey. Okay, so I hope you get the answer. Companies could be any company. You can target from small companies to medium companies to big fours, wherever you want to target. ISO 27001 will help you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So next question is by Swati, and she's asking, if we get external body for internal audit, then won't it come under external audit, as outside body is auditing our processes?
Definitely, Swati, your point of view is right. But in order to get a complete, better understanding, I would say, and in order to not have a bias of towards the things, I would always recommend going for a third party for internal audit as well. I would highly recommend that, because you get a fresh pair of eyes, and it will help you to understand things from a different perspective. And trust me, organizations are doing that because they also realize the benefit. It's not an external audit, because you are hiring this person as well as your consultant, so he's playing a role from a inside of the company only. Don't think that he's some third party you coming from external and all that. This person will be sitting in your office, this person will be meeting your teams, this person will be working on your behalf only. Okay, so it will be an inside thing only, but definitely a third person, not from your organization.
Great, great. Um, Rafi has a testimonial for you. I'm also a Sir Love student in a corporate batch and really like his method of training. And he's
Yeah,
also saying it is 100% practical.
yeah, focus on the 100% practical part, Ghazal, because I think it's very important. Why it's important is not from for us to sell it. It's important from somebody who is coming from an understanding point of view. Because for somebody who is new to the policies, new to the procedures, new to all this, until and unless they do hands on, it doesn't make any sense, because after 1 week, no matter which course you attend, you will forget everything, right? So that's where this 100% practical actually kicks in, because if you have done it from your hand, trust me, it will not fade away very easily, right? And you will remember that why you did it, how you did it, what were the challenges, because you have gone through that cycle. So that's why this 100% practical approach, I always say, it's very important. And we will keep it in all our courses. It is not only LI, it will be LA as well. We will follow the same approach. Everything will be practical, guys. We will not make it theoretical slides and all that.
100%, absolutely. So, first of all, thank you so much, Rafi, for saying that. It was really kind of you. And Swati has a question. So, she's asking for a clarification whether internal audit comes under LOD 2 or load 3.
See, audit as a function will come under LOD 3 only. You are completely right there. But here, the purpose of why we are, again, I think she is confused between why we are doing it from an external party. So I completely understand your concern, Swati. So try to understand, one thing. Whenever you are trying to perform internal audit, and it is from experience, I am telling you this. Okay, every company would prefer a third party. Okay, because you'll see yourself when you perform the audits, the results are different. Okay, try to understand it that way. The findings are different, the non-conformities are different. Okay, I have seen that practically. Okay, that's why I'm telling you. So try to understand it from that perspective. Don't mix it with the audit and all that. Your understanding about the audit is absolutely right. If you are getting so far till LOD 2 and 3, so definitely you are at the right place. So I'm not challenging that understanding. My only viewpoint is that you get a fresh pair of eyes. That's it. Okay, so I think now she'll be able to understand, Ghazal.
Right, right. Definitely. And Andre has a token of thanks. So many thanks for this ISO 27001 live event. And thank you so much to you too, Andre, for joining us today, taking out the time.
Yeah, thank you, Andy.
Right. Our next question is by Param. So he's saying, Sir, I have employment GOP of 3 years,
Gap, gap.
gap of 3 years, how the practical sessions go. So I think he's trying to fill in those gaps through the
So
practical training. He's asking
yeah,
some. Yeah.
so Param, two things. I have trained people who were working in the stock exchange for 12 years. So they initially worked in big companies like, Big Fours and all. Then they quit their career for 10 years. They work in the stock exchange market for 10 years. I have worked with those people. I have made them ready for the GRC roles. I have now, I'm able to place them in companies as well. Now these people are working professionals, right? So if people who are working in the stock exchange for 10 years are able to do it, yours is very small thing. 3 years is nothing, trust me. So only one thing you need to follow is the approach. You need to follow the approach, you need to follow the process, and you need to put in the effort. These are the only three things you need to remember. And otherwise, trust me, it's very easy, it's not difficult. Okay, but definitely it will require a lot of hard work and sweat that that you need to put in. If you are ready to put in, then don't worry about the gap. Okay, you will be able to cover up it because you will be ready for the industry, and that is one thing we need you need to be ready for the industry. That is one thing we are here for.
Right, absolutely. I think there are no more questions. So we'll take another 30 seconds to see if there are any more questions. Guys, please feel free to type them in the comment sections. And Rafi is thanking you, love. And most welcome, Rafi. Thank you for joining us
Thank you,
today.
Rafi. Yeah, it's a different time zone for Rafi. I think it will be I think very late or maybe late evening he's joining. Yeah, it's okay.
Right, right. I think Rafi is an hour behind.
Yeah, are behind, but in a different time zone. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So thanks, Rafi, for taking out the time. This is very sweet of you to join us today.
Yeah.
And for everyone, the number and the email ID is flashing on the screen. So, in case you have any queries, you'd like to get started with your training because the batch is filling up quickly. So, please don't hesitate in reaching out. I'd love
Yeah.
to help every single one who comes through.
And
And
feel
I
free
think,
to ask questions again.
yeah, feel free
Sorry,
to ask
sorry.
questions.
Yeah.
More the
So
better.
you call Ghazal on this number, even if you don't want to enroll. I don't care. But you ask
Yeah,
questions. You ask her why this course will help me. You ask her
right.
how this course will help me. You ask her. You ask us. Anything that you want for your career. You need
Hmm.
a mentor, you need somebody to guide you. Trust me, Ghazal is the right person. Okay, she can assist you in much better ways than somebody else out there. I can vouch for her. Okay, so call her. If you are not interested in the course, even just call her and try to discuss how can something help in your career progression, because I think that question everybody should ask, right? What is the next
Right,
thing that you should do in your career progression? So definitely discuss with her. I think that won't harm
right,
you, because right
right.
nowadays calls are also free. We are doing WhatsApp calls, so definitely give it a shout out.
Right, right. Thanks so much, love. That was very wonderful of you to say. I will try my best.
Yeah,
And in case I falter, then I will be passing on the calls to Love because he's not just a trainer, he's also a great mentor. So he helps out everybody who comes through. So please, yeah, he's absolutely right. Feel free to reach out. And I think Hardik has some things to add.
yeah. Go
So,
ahead, Adik.
Hardik, yeah.
Thank you, Ghazal. The presentation was really great, Love. Actually, you deconstructed topics in a very simple way, and I really got that how an organization should be aligned to the security policies and procedures. So yeah, thank you, love. And also, I request guys to engage more with our content. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah,
Thanks so much, Hardik. So I think, love, this is a good point to wrap up the session.
yeah,
Right. So thanks so much, love, for joining us. And Hardik has just left, but thank you so much, Hardik, for taking out the time and joining. And a special thanks to everyone who joined us for the live session. And also thank you to everyone who's going to be watching the recorded format. We're always grateful for your support. Feel free to share the session with your friends and colleagues. They may gain a lot of value from it.
I think one more question
Yeah,
has
there
come
is a question.
before.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but
Sagar.
before we switch,
Hmm.
I think this slide we need to change, Ghazal. This slide should
Hmm.
be from now onwards. You ask questions, okay? Instead of any questions, you people
Huh.
ask questions.
Ask
Yeah,
questions. Yes.
yeah.
Next time we'll do
We
that.
should yeah we should hit that tagline because people are hesitant. You know, I have seen in classrooms
Yeah.
also people are hesitant to ask questions. No, never be hesitant. You ask questions because unless and until you will ask questions, nobody will else will be able to help you. Trust me on that. Okay, so you need to ask questions. That is very important. Okay, so now onwards,
Absolutely.
any webinar will do. The last slide will be ask questions, right, Kazal?
Yes, yes. It will not be a question to
Yeah,
ask any question. If you have any question, it will be a statement. Ask questions.
yeah. Now this should be the tagline. Ask questions,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Perfect.
Go ahead,
Great.
Gazal.
So
I think it's
Sagar
a
is asking
yeah,
from
yeah.
LinkedIn. I am in my 40s and shifting my career in cybersecurity. Having the exercise of ITIL domain, I think experience he meant. How can I enter cybersecurity? By the way, I am a follower of Love Sir for his ITIL training.
Okay, thank you so much, Sagar. First of all, for saying that, and yes, a lot of people know me because of ITIL. Initially, I used to have a lot of lectures on YouTube on ITIL as well, and but then I shifted gears towards cybersecurity because at that time only I realized that is the future. Cybersecurity is the future. GRC is the future. So similarly, Sagar, I would vouch the same for you. Okay, you definitely enter the cybersecurity as soon as you can. Okay, that is the one thing I would highly recommend because the market is changing. Market is very dynamic right now with the introduction of AI, with the introduction of privacy policies coming around the world. I think now it's high time that everybody should change their careers towards GRC. That is one thing I would really like to say out loud. And don't wait. That is one thing. Don't wait. Don't think too much because trust me, if this time you'll spend on waiting and thinking, you will be in a bad shape after 2 years or 3 years down the line. Trust me. So a lot of change is coming. Okay, a lot of my friends, tell me every day who are in the industries, who are in the big fours. I get the feedback, right? So that's why I'm saying from experience, if you really want to enter into the cybersecurity, go for GRC and go right now. Don't wait. So Saga, definitely you can join the GRC domain and definitely go for lead implementer course first, where you will be getting to know about ISO 27001 lead implementation. You will be doing practical hands-on on ISO 27001 LI, and accordingly, along with that, you will be doing the governance, risk, and compliance as well in the same standard. Also, we'll be covering two aspects, and you will be getting a dual certification. Okay, everything regarding governance, risk, and compliance. Two of the trainings, if you can get, you will be have a complete understanding about GRC. One is ISO 27001 LI, another is ISO 27001 LA. So Saga, these two trainings you need. Okay, and for details you can get in touch with Ghazal, and any more follow-up questions, please feel free.
Right, right. Absolutely. We'll be happy to help. Uh, Param has another question, I think. Okay. So he missed the session. So, Param, the session will be available in a recorded format right after we go off the live. So, it'll be available on our LinkedIn page. So, you can come back here like 5 minutes after the session is done and you can catch up on it. Right. So, WebHub is asking, sorry, I joined late, but is ISO 27001 LI exam also included in the training? Right. Your examination is included in the training. However, the global certification is separate. So we're very transparent about it. So I'll be flashing the numbers on the screen again. Get in touch with me. Let's have a discussion. Swati has another one. If I want to go for ISO 27001 lead implementer and auditor courses, which one to go for first?
without even thinking lead implementer. Don't even think. Don't even blink, I would say.
Yes, absolutely. So I was going to answer this, I was going to jump the gun, but I thought that it should come from you, love.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Perfect.
because
So let me.
because most of our batches, most of our students are people who have already done LA for the last 1 year, 2 year, 3 years down the line, but they haven't got the potential, they haven't got any use case of that LA course. So that's why they are coming to us for doing LI. That is why I say it with complete confidence that always go for LI first.
True, true. Perfect. So, guys, please reach out to us and we'll be helping you with your training or any questions, career related queries, and everything. So, love, anything more to add?
No, I think we just need to change the slide to ask questions. That is my only one approach for now, because
Definitely.
yeah, because people are spending their hard-earned money, they are spending thousands of bucks, so they should be able to get complete out of it. There should not be a
Right.
case where people are joining the courses, they are just waiting for for their turn to come up for asking questions. There should not be a case where they're only watching the slides for 4 hours. So we need to change that approach. That's why I want to change this tagline to ask questions.
Right, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And more questions, the better. Makes the sessions interactive. And plus, when you ask more questions, it helps. I think, love, it also helps you in revisiting previous concepts and understanding different connections. And it helps the
Yes.
learners, of course.
Yes. I think there are more comments.
Yeah. So I think Sagar has shared his email ID. Sure, Sagar. We'll be sending you the course information. And Swati saying thank you as always. Really sweet of you, Swati.
Okay.
All right, love. So shall we wrap up?
Yeah, I think we had a long session. I think 1.5 hours. Thank you so much everybody
Yes.
who has asked questions. Thank you so much everybody who has participated, and thank you so much to all the people who will be watching this as a recorded session. Because of you, because of your support, we are here, guys. Always remember that. So thank you so much for being such a great audience. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great evening or afternoon and or morning. And we'll see you in the next one.